What is going down, everybody? It's Unbeatable Jacob. I hope you all have had a fun first weekend playing my team. I know I definitely have. So I just wanted to make a quick video just talking about, the first impressions of the game mode, the first impressions of the gameplay, the content, everything in between, and just kind of go over what I expect to see play out for the next couple weeks, couple months, and even rest of the year, to be honest with you. So first things first, I think we were all a little bit caught off guard. The gameplay is actually pretty good. It's not perfect. I'm not gonna sit here and say this is a 10 out of 10 game, but little spoiler alert, I would say so far after first weekend, I would say this is a solid 8 out of 10 gameplay wise. I think that dribbling has a lot of potential. Obviously, one of the things that I find fun to do in this game is dribble a lot. I think that there's a lot to learn yet, though. I think that there's certain moves from last year and stuff that work well. There's certain moves from last year that don't work at all, and there's some new stuff that's added in and some new stuff they brought back. So overall, for dribbling, I think it's pretty good. I just have a lot to learn personally, and that's going to be kind of my main focus for the next couple weeks, is just learning some more stuff around dribbling, because I can't really seem to put it all together. I can sometimes get certain things to work and certain things where I have one or two good moves and then I get stuck in an animation I can't cancel out of, and that kind of stuff. The defense on the AI, of course, is a lot better. I know that there's some, pretty casual people out there, or even maybe some competitive people, who think that defense is a little bit too much right now. I think that it's perfect. I think, well, not perfect, but I think it's good and a lot better than it has been. Overall, still have some situations where the corners drop and things like that, but no one's really found any great moves to make the corners drop regularly, which is nice to see. And the pick and roll AI defense is better. I mean, there's a lot to like about the gameplay, honestly. Shooting is a bit weird. It's something I do have to get used to. I'm not used to it at all. The shooting is strange because when you're out of stamina, the shots do take a little bit longer to shoot and it's harder to green. Off the catch, if you're open, it's really hard to miss. So that's another thing that we need to get used to. But overall, I mean, I was excited regardless, even if it was just going to be a typical 2K launch gameplay wise, just to be able to have something new and fresh to learn. But I think there's a lot of potential here, and I think the experience is very good right now. I would say the biggest thing holding it back is just the fact that there's a lot of server issues. I keep getting wild lag spikes when I play online, and I'm not a big fan of that. So overall, I would say the gameplay is an 8 out of 10 right out of the box, and I know that Mike Wang said they didn't plan on changing any of it anytime soon, and I think that's a good thing. And now, as far as content and all of that kind of stuff goes in game, it was pretty good last year. There's some people who are no money spent who might have a few issues with things like the draft mode costing stuff and all of those kinds of things, but personally, I don't mind spending a few dollars on the game, especially if it's good. So I can't really relate to that, but I can at least be, just sympathetic towards it. It does suck in some situations, but overall, it's a much better experience playing no money spent now than it has been in a very, very long time. So that is a good thing. And just kind of go over what I did first. I did domination first, got all 99 stars done, and got Draymond. Dale knocked out a few games on all-time Dom this morning, so we're working towards that Bob Cousy. I played a dozen games or 22 games of Triple Threat Offline. I did the draft mode and got Glenn Robinson. I've played a dozen games of this, and I'm 17-3 in Unlimited currently, so that's pretty much what I've been working towards right now. This is the squad for the time being. It will probably change quite a bit and pretty fast here throughout the next couple weeks. Went ahead and got this Diamond Kyrie. The one thing about this Diamond Kyrie is if you get him, put quick first step on him instantly. Do it right away before you even use the card, because I used him in a game before I put quick first step on him and thought he was terrible. Put quick first step on him, realized he's my favorite point guard now. So right now, I'm really liking the squad the way it is. And I just hope that they don't gas the content too quick. I know that we have a lot of cards to work for right now, like Wilt and Pink Diamond Mellow, but I hope they don't gas the content too quick. These packs were kind of perfect for day one for me. I wish they kind of did the tip-off cards just to have more cards in the game or whatever, but this is kind of perfect. None of these cards are too OP or anything like that, and I just really hope that they don't ruin a good thing they have going for them right now by adding in like a dunking John Stockton or something like that. Like that's not what I want to see for like the start of the year. I would like them to keep this the way it is just for the time being. If they want to come out with a few new cards, maybe a diamond, I don't know, say a diamond John Wall, or if they want to come out with like a maybe even like a pink diamond, I don't know, a pink diamond Dominique or whoever it might be, that wouldn't be too bad at all. A pink diamond George Gervin, a pink diamond Dikembe Mutombo even, or something like that. I don't really mind, but I just hope that we don't get like any glitch cards, out of position cards, or anything like that, at least through the first qualifier for 250 on October 16th. I hope that most of the bigs that are inside bigs stays inside bigs. Most of the short point guards that can't dunk stay that way, and everything just kind of stays relatively to how it is right now for content. Talking about dudes with pink diamonds that have, 5 Hoff badges. These diamonds out here with 0 Hoff badges. I think it makes for a really enjoyable experience, and I have no idea how this game will play when the cards that we probably will get eventually do inevitably come out. Like the guys that have 90 Hoff badges this year or 80 Hoff badges. We'll see how it works out, because with the way defense is this year, I have not a breeze of how it's going to be. It could be once crazy nice cards come out, when cards have every defensive badge, nobody can score. It might be once every card comes out, they just get crazy SIGs that we haven't even seen yet, like Steve Francis size up and the Curry escape and all of that kind of stuff. And then we're back to where we started last year, where it's easy to make the corners drop, you can get blow-bys and all of that kind of BS that a lot of the older 2Ks have. But overall, I'm excited for it. Gonna start just plucking away at domination a little bit more here. Need to get this Bob Cousy done. Probably gonna split the rest of this with Dale, and then gonna try and get this Wilt. But I'm not really sure if Wilt will make the lineup, to be honest with you, because right now, currently, this Serge Ibaka is great for me. It says 0 games played. I do kind of hate how that is glitched, but he's really good. This Dario Saric, I'm not crazy about. Kind of contemplating maybe switching him out and using somebody else, like maybe Chris Boucher, or possibly using the Siakam, or maybe even Kevin Love, because this Dario Saric is just kind of for me right now. I'm not absolutely wild about him, to be honest, but he does fit the mold of a center that can shoot a bit and run, so I'm okay with him, but I would like to upgrade him soon. And overall, I'm excited, man. I think this game has a ton of potential. I'm not going to say this is the best 2K ever. Definitely not going to say that, but what I can say is, since I started taking 2K seriously, like a year ago, like all I can really compare it to is the 21 launch date. And for 21, this game is a lot better on launch day than 2K21 was, and is showing a lot more signs of potential. Still curious to see how like dunks are gonna play out, because the dunk meter isn't really making sense to me yet. The alley-oops are really hard for me to do, so we'll see how that plays out. Like, I'm not super psyched about how that's working at the moment, but that's okay, because realistically, I think that every other 2K, it's been too easy to drive to the paint and get a contact dunk. The alley-oops I'm a little bit upset about, but it's fine. There's a few situations where I would have thrown an alley-oop, but instead now I just throw a little dump down pass instead, but it's okay. There's a few minor things that I don't think are great, but overall I would say the gameplay is like an 8 out of 10 and the content is probably like a 9 out of 10. I don't really see what they could have done better at this point for content perspective, but the one thing I will say is I don't like the 100 mode at all. It's just not a good mode to me. I think that it's a lot more indicative of who you match up with, not how well you play, because realistically, if I match up with, another dude who's like at my skill level, neither of us are going to be anywhere close to blowing each other out ever in a game of TTO. There's just too much spacing where we can both, do our thing and get buckets. There's just a lot of spacing in TTO. So I'm not crazy about it, because you know, it's just tough to predict if who you're gonna match up with is gonna be somebody who you beat 22-20 or if you're gonna win 21-6. It's more indicative of who you match up with, and that's really it. Because if I match up with Ty Debo, like, he's not gonna hold me to 10 points on TTO, even though he is the best defender in the world. I'll find a way to score 14 points at least, you know what I mean? Just because it's TTO, there's enough spacing, and eventually if you're gonna find a gap somewhere. Even if you don't even think about passing the ball, you can just run pick and rolls, and eventually with as much spacing as there is in TTO, you will get open. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, I think there's a lot of really good things about this game. I'm super excited to keep playing it. I'm really upset that I do have to work tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day, because I would just play this game all day if I had the chance to. And that just goes to show you how good it is. It's the best 2K launch in a long time, so I'm excited for it and just curious to see where we go from here. I'm out, guys. Appreciate it.